வணக்கம். மனசே மனசை கவனி என்ற சேனலுக்கு உங்களை அன்புடன் வரவேற்கிறோம். இந்த எபிசோடு எங்களது 131வது எபிசோடு. இதுவரைக்கும் பல வகையான மனதை பற்றிய விஷயங்களை பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம். மனநோய்களை பேசணும், நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பேசியிருக்கோம். கடந்த சில எபிசோட்ஸாக ஆங்கிலத்தில் சில விஷயங்களை ஒளிபரப்பு பண்ணுறோம். 2019 அக்டோபர் மாதம் 10ஆம் தேதி, அதான் வேர்ல்டு மென்டல் ஹெல்த் டேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, உலக மனநல தினம். அன்றைக்கி தான் இந்த சேனல் லான்ச் பண்ணோம். முதல் 10-15 எபிசோடு மனசை பற்றி பேசணும். மனசுன்னு என்ன, அதனுடைய எப்படி செயல்பாடு என்ன இருக்குது, அதை பற்றிலாம் பேசணும். அதனுடைய அதே விஷயத்தை இப்போ இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்லிட்டுருக்கோம். ஒரு 130 தமிழ் சேனல் எபிசோடு முடித்த பிறகு இங்கிலீஷில் ஒரு சேனல் ஆரம்பித்தோம். அதை மைண்ட் யுவர் மென்டல்ன்ற பேரில் இங்கிலீஷில் இதே விஷயங்கள் தான், இதே எபிசோட்ஸு தமிழில் பேசுகிறது பதிலாக இங்கிலீஷில் பேசுகிறோம். இது வரைக்கும் ஒரு 20 எபிசோட் பண்ணிட்டோம். அதுலேருந்து சில எபிசோட்ஸு, சில பேசிக்காக சில அடிப்படை விஷயங்கள் சொன்னோம் இல்லையா மனசை பற்றி, அந்த எபிசோட்ஸை இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்லிகிட்ருக்கோம். இந்த எபிசோடில் மனசில் எண்ணங்களை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம். தாட்னா என்ன, திங்கிங்னா என்ன, மனசில் எப்படி எண்ணங்கள் வருது, எப்படி எண்ணங்கள் ஓடுது, எண்ணோட்டங்கள், இது எல்லாத்தை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம் இந்த எபிசோடில். நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி தமிழில் பேசின முதல் 15 எபிசோட்ஸ் மனசை பற்றி பேசியிருக்கோம். அதில் 3ஆவது எபிசோடு எண்ணங்களை பற்றி பேசியிருக்கோம். இப்போ இங்கிலீஷ் உங்களுக்கு நான் சொன்ன சில விஷயங்கள் புரியல, பட் இங்கிலீஷ் அந்தளவுக்கு உங்களால் புரிஞ்சிக்க முடியலன்னா நீங்கள் போய் ப்ளேலிஸ்ட்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மனஸ் விளக்கம்னு இருக்கும், மனது விளக்கம்னு இப்படி இருக்கும். அந்த ப்ளேலிஸ்ட்டு கீழே 3ஆவது எபிசோடில் போய் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எண்ணங்களை பற்றி பேசியிருப்பேன். அதே தான் இங்கிலீஷில் பேச போகிறப்போ. வாருங்க நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு போவோம், பார்ப்போம். In this episode, we are going to talk about thought, one of the important aspects of the mind. As we said in the previous few episodes, mind consists of different aspects or different dimensions: perception, thought, emotion, behavior, and primary mental function, which includes orientation, attention, concentration, and memory. So last episode we talked about perception, how important it is, why we need perception, what it does. This episode we are talking about thought. Thought is another common word. Every day we use it. Quite often we use it. Thought, thinking. Thinking we do every day. All of us think in different levels. So thinking and thought are common term. Suppose I ask you, what is thinking? Then it becomes difficult to define. Suppose I'm asking you now, think for a while. What is thinking? I'll give you half a minute to think about thinking. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you, what happened in the half a minute when I said, think about thinking? Okay, I'll tell you what would have happened. So you would have started thinking about thinking, right? So you are all thinking about thinking. That's fine. How did it start? You didn't think about it about half an hour ago, but now you are thinking about thinking. How did it start? It started because I gave you a problem. I asked you a question. That question has triggered your thinking process. Okay, that is the beginning. Next question is, what is happening? What you were thinking? What exactly was going on in your mind? What you are thinking? Tell me as it comes. Then you might tell me different things. One person might think, okay, I have read somewhere, but I'm not able to remember. Thinking is thinking. Another person might think, okay, why this person asking question? Can't you just talk and then get on with the subject? Why is asking questions? So you get different kind of a thought. We can say different ideas. So my question about thinking has triggered different ideas in your mind. Yeah? You started thinking about thinking, or you might know the definition, then you immediately say, this is the thinking. This is what it's defined as. So I gave you a problem that triggered a flow of ideas in your brain or in your mind. That flow of idea goes on till when till you find a solution, till you find a definition, or till you find something to say about thinking. Till that time, you're going to think about it. Okay? Now, let's use a textbook definition of thinking or thought. Thinking is a flow of ideas initiated by a problem, ends in a solution. This is one of the simple textbook definition of thinking or thought. So it is a flow of ideas, starts with a problem, then ideas flow through your mind and ends when you find a solution or when you find a definition. Not necessarily all your thinking process starts with a problem, ends in a solution. I'm just lying down, relaxing and thinking about a movie what I saw or a novel what I've read. That is not that it precipitated or triggered by a problem, just the thinking. But basic fundamental thing is the flow of ideas. More than one idea just flows into our mind. One idea is connected to the other idea. 2 follows 1, 3 follows 2, 4 follows 3, 5 follows 4. So there is a sequence in which the ideas flow. If I am thinking about my friend, then the ideas will be about the friend. Where is he? What is he doing? And do I call him? Or is he going to call me? So the ideas are interrelated. These ideas flows through our mind. That is what we call it as a thinking or thought process. Okay? So what do you need for this thought process? You need ideas. Where do the ideas come from? They come from the information what you have already stored through your perception. You perceive the environment. Remember the last episode? I said perception is one of the aspects of the mind which makes you perceive the world or perceive environment around you or perceive data, information which gets stored in the mind. That's how thinking process goes on. So I already have number of ideas, probably for an adult grown-up person like me, I might have millions of information about everything, whatever I've seen, whatever I tasted, whatever I touched, everything, whatever I heard, everything is converted into data and stored in my brain. So I use that data. Somebody asked me about a food, what food is good, what cuisine is good. Then I might retrieve the information what I already have in my brain. The restaurants I went to, the dishes I have taken, and what kind of a cuisine, it's a French, or it is Indian, or it is a Mongolai, or it's in English, or it's an American, whatever it is, I'm going to retrieve that information and then talk about it. That's how we function. So perception gives us information. Thought depends on already what we have stored information through the perception. So I said it's a flow of ideas. So ideas flows from one to the other till we go to the next topic. So a person might be thinking about what happened to him about an hour ago, which could be a pleasant one or unpleasant one, and he'll keep thinking about it till next experience or next problem comes or next topic comes. So I'm thinking about it. I had a nice walk and I saw some nice flowers and birds. Then I'm thinking about it. So that is what I perceived. I might match it with my information, what I already have, compare it with that and say, this is that bird, this is this flower. Then my friend walks in and he says, okay, shall we go for a movie? Then the thought process, the flow of ideas changes the movie. That's how our thought process goes on. So for that we need information. That information is given by our perception. Okay, when I say flow of ideas, we can draw an example. Flow of ideas. Let's bring in some example. When I say flow, the common example I get is of river. River flows. Let's say river Thames. So it flows through London. Okay. Ideas are flowing through. So ideas are like a river. It flows. Okay. And this ideas belong somewhere. It belongs to some place. If it is Nile, it is Egypt. Yeah. So it belongs somewhere. So we said it is Thames. So it is London. So where it belongs? The ideas are thought. Whom does it belong? It belongs to me, because it's my ideas what I've stored in my brain, and that is what I'm using. So my own ideas. Sometime in different situation, different kind of a psychological problem, I might say this is not my thought. Okay, so we will go into that when we discuss about signs and symptoms and other things. Okay, so it flows, its idea flows like a river. It is in a place. We gave an example, Thames, that means it is in London. So that's where, that possession, where it possesses. So London possesses those river. My ideas, I possess my ideas. Okay, that is the second aspect of the second description of the thought. And what flows in the river, what ideas are there? So it is a pleasant thought, unpleasant thought, fearful thought, or some sundry thoughts, whatever it is, the content of the thought. So it can be normal and abnormal. We come to the abnormal little later. We will have an episode about signs and symptoms. In that I will explain in detail more about that. So first we looked at river, where it belongs. My ideas are my own ideas. Then we say, what kind of ideas are these? These are the ideas related to my pleasant experience, unpleasant experience, some information, my work, my family, my children. So that is the content of the thought, what the thought content is. Then how does the river flow? Fast, slow, or turbulent? That is another aspect of the, another kind of dimension of the thought. Thought can be pressure thought, I talk more, or thought can be very slow, or it can be normal. So, content and the flow. All these things are different description of the thought. We try to look at these things in different angles and then analyze the thought. Okay? I will talk about it in more detail when we come to different episodes. So thought is very important. Thought depends on the information what we have, and perception is the one which gives us the information. Okay. Now thought, when I say ideas, the ideas flow in a logical manner, in logical sequence. When I talk about food, I might think about fish and chips. When I think about fish and chips, next idea will be where to buy it. Whether I go and buy it in this shop or this restaurant, which is better. So all the thoughts will be related to that. That means one is linked to other. There is no break. One is linked to other. That is what we call sequential or relevance. So all these things are different aspects of the thought. Thought is very important. That's what makes us what we are today. Perception, thought and emotion together makes us what we are. So depending on the perception, depending on the thoughts we have, our emotions, our behavior might change. Suppose I have all negative thoughts, I have experienced only negative emotions in the life, then my thought will be negative. So that might lead on to negative emotions also. Sometimes negative emotions can lead on to negative thoughts. So the aspects or the dimensions of the mind which I am talking about is interdependent or interact with each other. They influence each other. So in this episode we talked about thought. What is thought, a definition and how it is, and how to understand the thought. I gave an example of river flowing. In the next episode we will talk about emotions. நண்பர்களே, இந்த எபிசோடை பார்த்த பிறகு உங்களுக்கு எண்ணங்களை பற்றி ஒரு புரிதல் ஏற்பட்டிருக்கும்னு நம்புகிறேன். இது மாதிரி பல விஷயங்கள் இருக்கும்னு பேச வேண்டியது இருக்குது. அடுத்த எபிசோடில் எமோஷன்ஸை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம். உணர்ச்சிகள், சந்தோஷம், சோகம், பயம், இந்த மாதிரி பல உணர்ச்சிகள் இருக்குது நம்மளுக்கு. அது என்ன, அது எப்படி, அதனுடைய விளக்கங்கள் என்ன, அதனுடைய தேவைகள் என்ன. சில உணர்ச்சிகள் வேண்டாம் நினைக்கலாம். ஏன் பயம் இல்லாமல் இருந்தால் நல்லா இருக்குமே, அது தேவையா, அது ஏன் ஒரு மனுஷனுக்கு இந்த பயம்ன்ற பல வகையான உணர்ச்சிகள் இருக்குது. இதை பற்றியெல்லாம் அடுத்த எபிசோடில் பார்ப்போம். நன்றி, மீண்டும் சந்திப்போம் நண்பர்களே.